Tropical Storm Debby struck in late June 2012. Its erratic path and relentless rainfall left a trail of destruction across Florida. Debby was a stark reminder of nature's raw power. The storm stalled, unleashing torrential downpours for days. This led to widespread flooding, tornadoes, and billions in damage. Debby's legacy is one of resilience and a call to action.
Tropical Storm Debby formed in the Gulf of Mexico, its swirling bands of clouds first appearing on weather radar in late June. Forecasters closely monitored its development, but Debby's path proved difficult to predict. The storm took an unusual northwesterly track, confounding initial expectations. Several factors contributed to Debby's erratic movement. A weak steering current in the atmosphere provided little guidance, leaving the storm susceptible to the influence of local weather patterns. High-pressure systems to the north and west created a blocking pattern, preventing Debby from making a clean exit into the Atlantic Ocean. This atmospheric stalemate forced Debby to meander slowly across the Gulf of Mexico, its intensity fluctuating as it interacted with surrounding weather systems. The storm's unpredictable path posed significant challenges for emergency managers and residents along the Gulf Coast, who faced days of uncertainty as Debby inched closer to landfall. Tropical Storm Debby's unusual behavior was a result of a complex interplay of atmospheric forces. The storm's formation coincided with heightened tropical activity, with multiple systems vying for dominance. This created a chaotic environment, making Debby's track and intensity challenging to predict. A large upper-level low-pressure system over the southeastern U.S. disrupted Debby's steering flow. It also enhanced rainfall, drawing moisture from the warm Gulf waters.
As Tropical Storm Debby stalled over the Gulf of Mexico, its outer rain bands began to lash the Florida peninsula. Days of relentless rainfall ensued, saturating the ground and overwhelming drainage systems. Rivers and streams swelled to capacity, spilling over their banks and transforming streets into raging torrents. Coastal areas faced the double whammy of heavy rainfall and storm surge. Debby's winds pushed water ashore, inundating low-lying areas and eroding beaches. The storm surge exacerbated flooding problems, turning once familiar landscapes into vast inland seas. The deluge triggered widespread flash flooding, particularly in urban areas where concrete surfaces prevented water from being absorbed into the ground. Cars were submerged, homes were inundated, and businesses were forced to close their doors as floodwaters rose rapidly. Section 5. Nature's Fury Unleashed. Tornadoes tear through communities. In addition to the devastating flooding, Tropical Storm Debby spawned numerous tornadoes across Florida. These twisters, some packing winds of up to 100 miles per hour, ripped through communities, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Tornadoes are a common occurrence with tropical systems, forming from the rotating thunderstorms embedded within their rain bands. Debby's slow movement and interaction with other weather systems created an environment ripe for tornado development. The tornadoes touched down with little warning, tearing roofs off homes, uprooting trees, and tossing vehicles like toys. Communities were left reeling from the sudden and violent onslaught, with many residents describing the experience as terrifying and surreal.
Section 6. Counting the Cost. The Human and Economic Toll of Debby. Tropical Storm. Debby's wrath left a lasting impact on Florida, claiming lives, destroying property, and disrupting the lives of millions. The storm's human toll was significant, with 7 confirmed fatalities attributed to the flooding, tornadoes, and rough surf. The economic costs of Debby were staggering. Early estimates placed the total damage at over $1 billion, with the agriculture industry particularly hard hit. Citrus crops, a major economic driver for the state, suffered widespread losses due to flooding and wind damage. Tourism, another vital sector of Florida's economy, also took a hit as beaches were closed, attractions were shuttered, and travelers canceled their plans. The storm's impact on businesses was widespread, with many forced to close their doors for days or even weeks due to flood damage, power outages, and impassable roads.
Section 7. Aiding the afflicted response and recovery in full swing. As the floodwaters receded and the winds died down, the massive task of recovery began. Emergency responders, including first responders, National Guard troops, and volunteers, sprang into action to provide aid and comfort to those affected by the storm. Search and rescue teams worked tirelessly to locate missing persons and evacuate residents stranded by floodwaters. Shelters were set up to provide temporary housing for those displaced from their homes, and distribution centers were established to provide food, water, and other essential supplies. The recovery process was long and arduous, with many communities facing months of rebuilding. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, provided financial assistance to individuals and businesses affected by the storm, helping them to get back on their feet.
Section 8. Scars on the Landscape. Debby's Environmental Aftermath. Tropical Storm. Debby's impact extended beyond the immediate human toll, leaving its mark on Florida's natural environment. The storm's heavy rainfall and flooding had a significant impact on water quality, leading to runoff from agricultural fields, urban areas, and industrial sites. This runoff carried pollutants, such as fertilizers, pesticides, and sewage, into rivers, lakes, and coastal waters, posing a threat to aquatic life and human health. The storm surge and coastal erosion also damaged sensitive coastal habitats, such as beaches, dunes, and mangroves, which provide important breeding grounds for marine life and protection from future storms. Debby's aftermath served as a reminder of the interconnectedness of human and natural systems and the importance of protecting the environment from the impacts of extreme weather events.
Section 9. Preparing for the next big one. Lessons in Storm Preparedness. Tropical Storm. Debby served as a stark reminder of the importance of storm preparedness. The storm's unpredictable path and devastating impacts highlighted the need for individuals, communities, and governments to be prepared for the unexpected. One key lesson learned was the importance of having a plan in place. This includes developing an evacuation plan, assembling a disaster supply kit, and staying informed about weather forecasts and warnings. It also means knowing the risks specific to your area, such as your home's vulnerability to flooding or wind damage. Another important lesson was the need for effective communication. During Debby, timely and accurate information from meteorologists, emergency managers, and the media was crucial in helping residents make informed decisions about their safety.
Section 10. Bridging the communication gap, keeping the public informed. Effective communication is paramount during any emergency situation, and Tropical Storm Debby was no exception. The storm's erratic path and the potential for life-threatening conditions underscored the critical role of clear, concise, and timely information in protecting lives and property. Meteorologists played a crucial role in tracking Debby's progress and communicating the potential impacts to the public. Using advanced forecasting tools and models, they provided regular updates on the storm's track, intensity, and potential for rainfall, flooding, and tornadoes. Emergency managers relied on this information to make critical decisions about evacuations, shelter openings, and resource allocation. They worked closely with the media to disseminate timely and accurate information to the public through press conferences, social media, and other channels.
Section 11. The bigger picture: climate change and the future of storms. Tropical Storm. Debby served as a stark reminder of the growing threat posed by climate change. Scientists warn that a warming planet leads to more frequent and intense extreme weather events. As global temperatures rise, so does the temperature of ocean water. Warmer ocean water fuels hurricanes, increasing their potential intensity. Climate change alters atmospheric patterns, making storms harder to predict. Lessons from Debby highlight the importance of preparedness and effective communication. We must take proactive steps to mitigate future extreme weather impacts.